All right, so we're jumping into the weekly analysis real fast. Like, it's a weekly analysis market, and we just need to do this like as pretty fast as we can, but not really like fast and chase you guys away fast. More like only doing it necessary with concise in the whole talking. So let's dive right into it, right? All right, so let's begin this week. Okay, so today is Sunday and the market and my GMT, this is Lagos, Nigeria. Market starts in about 4 hours, that's 11 p.m. I won't be awake to do anything with the market, but what I can do right now is to give you guys an overview of what I expect this week. So let's head right into it. Going into the week, first thing is we're going to deal with the majors, right? Right here, the majors, we have the first major right here is the AUD USD, that is Australian dollar, US dollar. And making this full screen, yeah. So on the monthly, right? On the monthly, we see this candle exceed the previous monthly high. The month is not over, so we still have like some time to go. If this month closed down below this point, then I think we're cooked. So on the monthly, we go look at the daily to see if there's like some sort of heavy rejection, and currently right now I can see this rejection. I have a trade in this. I have a trade in this market, which is quite scary to me, right? I have a trade in this market hoping that the price is going to keep going up, and I know it's a demo account, but my bets are here, right? My integrity is also here. And what I think is, looking at the way this price came back down the other day on Friday, there is a high tendency it is a dangerous bearish move, like a very dangerous one for me. But nevertheless, let's overview the market like I don't have a trade in it. So on the monthly, we see mitigation has started, price has gone above this point, so we're going to go down into the weekly and see if price has anything to bring for us in the weekly. In the weekly, we see this previous weekly high is being, we see a fair value gap right here telling us price is going to run this high, obviously. But this is the problem, right? This is another weekly high right here, and right here we have this weekly high. So now there are two things we're looking at right here. It's either price is going to move like this, right? It's either price is going to move like this, come down somewhere within this range, you know, this fair value gap, fair value area, come within this range, and then move up if price wants to go bullish, right? And create some sort of fair value gap in the process around here. Or we're going to see price do something, right? We're going to see it come down. This is one, so let's just leave this one. This is a bullish one. The bearish tendency is, bearish tendency is we're going to see price do something like this, take out this liquidity, come back up, and then move for this liquidity next. So these are the two options we have right here, one of the two, and I still feel that the bullish momentum is possible. Why? Because I have a weekly fair value gap right here that I expect price to play off. But there's a problem, right? There's a problem. I see price closing below the last week high, and if I go into the 4 hours, instantly, like I said, I see problems, right? In the 4 hours, what I see here is this is the weekly high. See price find it difficult to cross. Price comes down, creates the weekly fair value gap. But guess what? Immediately creates the weekly fair value gap. It is coming back down with force, so much force that it is literally nullifying its own tendency, right? It's literally nullifying its own tendency. But what do I expect to see on this lower time frame? Well, what I expect to see is price figure its way down here to take out this low, and then meet with this liquidity to then start coming back up, which is what this other green slot is literally saying, right? Which is what this green slot is literally saying. So I still have a hope in this market that it is tending to the bullish side. That is for the AUD USD of the major pair. Let's head straight into the next major. The next major is the Euro USD. The Euro USD, I think we have very similar situation. So very similar situation. This is how I look at the market every time, right? So I still have monthly fair value gaps here are waiting to be respected, are waiting to be mitigated, respected, or touched. And right off the bat, I can see that there's no monthly high taken. In the weekly, what I see is, allow me adjust this a little bit. Yeah, so on the weekly, what I see is, I don't see a weekly high or low taken. I don't even see a weekly fair value gap premise. So right now in this market, I honestly do not see a reason to trade. Truth be told, for me, I do not see a reason to come into this place because, to be honest, I don't like trading off daily premises anymore. I don't like trading off daily narrative. That's the truth. Though this, if you are trading off a daily narrative, then this, my dear friends, is a good spot to see what's happening from. But I don't really trust this much because, as I can see right here, I can see this fair value gap bearish, this bearish fair value gap, and you can see that the high is being respected here, even though price went back and it's pushing. So if this is pushing bearish, right, if this is pushing downwards, what is the tendency that Australian dollar, US dollar won't go down with it? Very, very slim chances, right? Very slim chances. So we're living with fingers crossed right here. We're living with fingers crossed right here and hoping all of this doesn't happen. So on the euro dollar, I do not see a trade. That's on the euro dollar. Let's head straight into the next major. GBP USD, British pound USD, right? British pound USD, I still do the usual, right? Okay, so I have a monthly fair value gap right here, and I'm expecting mitigation somewhat. And you can see there's this run right here. Price is running away from this. In order to believe that move is a run, we need to come down in time frame. You can see a slim, very slim bullish fair value gap, and you can know, if you know right now, GBP USD on the higher time frame gives very, very slim fair value gaps, like really slim fair value gaps all the time on the higher time frame recently though. And these two don't really matter anymore because these two are coming out of this low. So on the monthly, you can see this monthly shows up that price is now in the work for possibly this fair value gap and possibly this low. That is what this is all about. But we're still going in to the lower time frame. On the weekly, we had this high taken by price. If this high was taken by price and created a fair value gap, on the 4 hours, let's see what the 4 hours has in store for us. See, we have less worries here. As you can see, there's a fair value gap. For matter of fact, there are two fair value gaps up, and currently we have very little fair value gap pushing for the sell side. So basically, judging from higher time frame fair value areas, right? Judging from higher time frame fair value areas, we have this fair value area, and we can see prices beginning to retrace into the fair value area. That's one fair value area, and I don't like to draw fair value areas like this. Rather of fact, this is how I like to draw fair value areas. I like to use this indicator called the zigzag indicator, and I just reduce it to nothing, like very small. You can see right there, that's my indicator. I love it because it's able to give me everything I want to see in terms of market structure and everything I need to see in terms of market structure. By just adjusting it, I can see every little bit of fair value area. You can see now that this is a fair value area. From here to here is a strong enough fair value area, and if price is supposed to be bearish, right? If price is supposed to be bearish, then price is supposed to not overcross its way inside here. But how would it not overcross its way inside? There's no fair value gap for it not to overcross. So there's every tendency it is actually coming for this edge right here. Now, with this, I can now say I expect price to do something. You can see price is already doing it. Price already did the down, up, probably another down, and then an up for this point. So you can see why I'm still having confidence that my AUD USD trade is going to work, because in other majors you can see price is still printing a very similar situation, a very similar situation here. Is it the last? I don't think it's the last. The next major we have is the New Zealand USD, judging from the New Zealand USD. Now this is where craziness is going to come in, right? A bit of craziness. This market has not just one, not two, but 3 monthly fair value gaps that needs to be met. Like 3 monthly fair value gaps that would most likely have to be touched. And all 3 of them, isn't it quite scary that if you look at it carefully? Oh geez, that's too much. I think I made a mistake. Yeah, I did. Yeah, so these are monthly fair value gaps, and if you notice, right? I just saw something right here. If you look right here, what you see is price has crossed this one, but did it cross this one enough to, push further down? Is price pushing further down? How do we know if price is pushing further down? Well, this was the last reasonable liquidity it took, and there is a fair value gap sitting right there, which is very risky. On the daily, we need to be certain that this is like a good one for us, right? On the daily, what do we see? We see that this mitigation zone is how many pips away from this high? -6 pips away, and the highest point is -6 pips away. So we're just 6 pips below, and there's a high tendency for one thing only. Looking at the market structure here, I want to increase the zigzag to get the higher time frame market structure. So what I do is I just increase this by a small amount, just one extra percentage, and you can see this fine line, but I want to see it better. I want to know if fair value areas are holding. Now we can see that this fair value area is not holding, so price is mitigating and crossing the fair value area. So there's a high tendency that this is the next call. There's a high tendency, not that it is certain, but there is a high tendency here. So bullish it is on the New Zealand USD for me. Bullish it is. USD card, right? Oh, okay, so I had a trade here before, but I'm not in this trade anymore. What you can see straight up here is this is one of the scariest markets to me right now. It's so scary because I'm seeing this on the monthly. This high, which has been, I don't think this is an all-time high. This is a USD card. So let's call on the big brother. The big brother is a brother that always has like huge history, right? Huge history, a trading view. Here's the card. Let's go get here's the card, and over the monthly history, right? This is the monthly history, and we are looking at 2 angles, right? This and this. Oh, this is not going to be easy for us, man. This is not going to be easy to analyze. Trust me, it is much more difficult than you think. Wow, this indicator is more loaded on trading view than it is on XNES. Well, nevertheless, nevertheless, I reduce this to 4. Price percentage of reversal, I like to use 2 sometimes. And I do not like the indications all popping up and extend to the last bar, obviously. I want to see reversal prices. I think that's cool for me. So it reversed around, so everything around 1.38, 1.39 is trouble. What I see here is if price comes beyond these 2 positions, right? If price comes way beyond this position, so we have this area. We have this area for price. Basically, this is a fair value area, and we have this area for price to be careful with its mitigation, right? To be very careful with its mitigation. So there's a high tendency that price is going to revert within here. There's another tendency that price is just going to dig its way through, coming around here and move back up. There's a high tendency for this, but there's also a tendency for price to finally shake us up by doing this and then doing something like this and then moving away from it. So this is over the monthly, right? This is over the monthly. Why did I switch to trading view? Well, it's because I want to see a whole lot more history than just these 2 highs, or rather this single high that I'm seeing here. Now on the weekly, let's do the analysis from the weekly perspective. In the weekly, we see highs and lows. Highs and lows. We have this low, we have this low, and we have this low. All right, so these 3 things, right? And then we have a fair value gap here from last week actually. So on the 4 hours, what do we see? We are expecting price to mitigate this, misbehave a bit and find its way down here. Now when it finds its way down here, we need to see assurance that it's ready for more push and it will push lower. That is what I personally expect the market to do. Like, I cannot even really look into this right now. I honestly cannot look into it right now because it's filled with lots and lots of confusion. To be honest, this is the first most confusing market I have seen that I'm not touching it. I just wanted to do it then, and let's see where it's finally headed. USD Swiss franc. USD Swiss franc. USD Swiss franc. We see this guy means business. It has 1, 2, 3. Oh, you're wondering where the third one is. I bet you're wondering where it is. There's a tiny one here, very tiny, so tiny that you can't see it easily. You literally have to squint your eyes, and it's so small. It's so small, but nevertheless, it is all good. So we have 3 monthly fair value gaps. So for the past 1, 2, 3, 4 months, it's been rallying, and then last month it started to retrace. But has it mitigated this? No. So what I see in this market is generally, it is likely going to be bearish for a while and then become bullish again to then cross this point. But we did a trade for soon, right? Pretty soon. And what do we see right here? Previous week high. What do we see happening to previous week high? On the 4 hours, we're seeing simple mitigation. Price came in here, this fair value gap, returned down. So price is going to break through here, react with this fair value gap, and most possibly, don't forget this is a monthly fair value gap, and most possibly break through it a little bit break through it, seek for this low and return up a little bit. This is what I see the price doing. Basically, that's what I see price doing here. Last but not least is the USD JPY. So I'm only analyzing the majors because this video is quite long, so I'm only analyzing the majors. As you can see, we spent a lot of time here. What do I see with the USD Japanese yen? This is one interesting market. Well, I thought I saw a fair value gap right there. Thought I saw one. So on the monthly, we have a clear monthly run from away from this, meaning price is so coming for this position. How is it going to deliver to that position? Well, we'll go down time frames, right? See this fair value gap completely destroyed. Simple, critical. There was one here, bearish. Then there was another bullish one that destroyed the bearish entrance but was unable to continue its reign. How do you know it was able to continue its reign? It was simple. From here we already saw it couldn't keep up the momentum it came with. Mitigating this and not being able to move forward, it came down for this and now it is coming for this. So removing all of this unnecessaries, let's now target what we're supposed to aim for. This liquidity has been taken. Now is price running this liquidity or is price sweeping liquidity at this weekly high, this weekly low? On the 4 hours, what do we see? We have a very beautiful reason to trade this market for a sell to at least 14863 region. So then again, let's go back to the weekly, right? Let's go back to the weekly. We're moving from here, don't forget, from here to here. This is very certain. This is very, very certain. Like, it's so clear and glaring. It is very certain that this is what price is going to do. Find its way back in here and move down, and that will happen very fast, probably within 2-3 days. By Wednesday this should be done. And after this point, we will then need to look for other reasons to trade this market. So basically, this is my analysis for the week, and I hope you learned. I hope you really learned a lot, and I hope you understood what I was trying to talk about with the whole major things. The market for the US dollar is seemingly very crazy right now, and it's about to enter a very momentum move, mostly about to enter one. If you look at the Dow here, right, the US dollar index, we do the usual, pull up our brother, and right off the bat, what do I see? I see a fair value area that is not being respected. So it seems like price is seeking liquidity. Basically, that is what this whole thing seems like. It's seeking liquidity. So what's happening is we expect this to be taken out, and then if this is taken out, there's a high tendency this would happen. There's a very high tendency this is what is going to play down on the Dow over a period of time. There's a high tendency. It doesn't mean it is exactly what is going to happen, but there's a high tendency. And there is this low. You can see there's this low. It's definitely going to take away this one, but there's this low. So this is what we see in the index happening. I hope you enjoyed this weekly analysis this weekly analysis video, and do well to comment below. What do you think about the market? What do you think is really happening? What do you think is going to happen? I want to get your perspective. I want to understand what you're seeing. And with this, I say thank you for watching. Do hit the subscribe button. Share this video if you think my analysis is very good for you and you learned something good from it. Hit the thumbs up for learning, and I'll see you all on another one.